So Nellie and I have been trying to answer a few of the questions from the community. And the question that I'm going to keep talking about today is, does the expression of true nature mean anything to us? And if so, what does true mean? So, what does true mean? Their dictionary, accurate or exact. Um, True also means in accordance with reality. It's a whole nother topic. I'm not going to go there this morning. um, but this one I liked. As a verb, true means bringing an object into the exact shape, alignment, or position required. So of course, I'm going to fudge and mold and shape that definition a little bit, but I could really see it as bringing ourselves into alignment with each situation. Some people might say with each moment, but moments are much more complex than a single thing. So bringing ourselves into alignment with each situation. And in my experience, this takes a lot of practice. For most of us humans, it doesn't seem that the bulk of us were born being able to do this without having to really revisit and realign our inherited qualities, our predispositions, as well as how we were raised and what cultures we live in. So, how I just stated that brings another wrestling match, so to speak, of nature versus nurture. So, it's a long-standing debate in biology and society about how um, the relative influence of human beings of their genetic inheritance, their nature, and their environmental conditions affect their development. So nature is what people think of as pre-wiring, and it's influenced by your genetics, by what you inherit from your family and their family, and you know, who are your family, the generational inheritance and other biological factors. And nurture is generally taken as the influence of external factors after conception, the product of what you're exposed to, of what your experiences and your learning as an individual. So I ran the four-cornered argument here, which both nature and nurture are right, both nature and nurture are wrong, both nature and nurture exist together, and then neither of them, both of them are neither right nor wrong, and that the whole debate obscures the other things we can learn about nature and nurture. And I wanted to go a little bit further into this, but I just felt the sense of, at this point in writing my talk and in yesterday thinking about this, I just want to get beyond this question. Like, I just want to get, jump over it. And I want to get beyond applying it to my life situations or global situations like the US election, and really wanting just to leap over 2024 and wake up in 2025. But other elections in other countries and the climate catastrophe and the wars and the systemic injustice just feel really big. And I want those things to end. I really want them to end. I want them to end now. I want them to end soon. I want them to end for our future generations. This is kind of like my internal, you know, pressure that I'm living with day to day. And I can't see a beyond. I really can't see an end to those things in my mind logically. And I don't know how they'll right themselves. And, really, I'm using this like I used the true as a verb. I don't know how they'll come into alignment. So, yesterday in my meditation, rather than thinking them through, I went into this little story for myself. really put that kind of trying to figure it out on hold. And I'm telling you this little story because you know how sometimes in meditation, just like in dreams, you're telling yourself something or somebody else tells you something, but it's really like you're talking to yourself and you know something that you don't yet know, but somehow it's coming through in this conversation. And this little story has some holes in it, and it doesn't yield any capital T truism, um, but it may be just enough that I can pull it out that it's something useful for this morning. So in the story, I was imagining driving along a road and someone, is telling me what's coming up next. Watch out for the accident. So this someone could be a GPS, or watch out for the green hills. They're just beautiful emerald because of the rain. Or watch out, I saw some flowers, over in this section. So I just was imagining all these people telling me things or me telling myself something. So then I was thinking, before I see things, I'm kind of ready. I'm primed. Somebody's told me about something. I'm aware. I'm looking for it. And by the time I get to those things, like the accident may already be just traffic, may already be gone, or I may not even see the accident the same way, or the hills don't look so emerald green by the time I get to them, or I'm wearing different glasses and they look dark and stormy. But I just was, oh, okay, things change significantly from what people tell me. I'm going to have to experience it myself. And then I think, after I pass those things, there's always more on the road. There's other things coming. There's not just those things. There's so many things that still I will encounter. So I had the question, how can I know the end before the end? And that, I don't know. I can't explain why that had a lot of meaning to me, but I'm going to try and say a few things about it, which is it took some pressure off of having to know the end of any of these situations that are so big and looming and that I feel really within my bones many of the days because I still watch the news. Um, but I seem to be learning how things continue and to be interested in how are these things still going on in the world and in myself. And sometimes I can see some endings. Sometimes there are things that drop away and end, but often things come back. They come back in a different form, or they come back um, in like a raging reminder that they're still there. Um, and that it seems like a useful adjustment for me to kind of align my focus from trying to wish to get beyond things, beyond um, what's happening to something truer or more real, um, and that it seems to go more in the direction of just trying to see what continues and showing up to see what continues until I can't. That's my punchline. So I'm ending the talk there, um, and I hope that you heard something that might be useful. Again, with the meditation, you can take up something from the prompt, from the Dharma talk. You can sit with whatever comes up. But we do have a chance to practice together this morning, and I'm happy for that. We'll sit for 30 minutes, have 10 minutes for reflection, and then 10 minutes for sharing together at the end.